One story isn't enough. You have two individuals, men or women, who were 5 miles apart in Vietnam or in World War II, and completely different stories. It helps, especially for the ones who've lost family members, men and women, to say, oh, that's what my dad did. I want to listen to that interview. Then they understand what their parent went through or what their brother or sister or child went through. So that's very important.
For over a decade, Debbie's interviews have captured the stories of veterans around the country to be preserved at the Maps Air Museum in Ohio and in the Library of Congress. Debbie approached Advanced RV with a vision. She wanted to travel and conduct her interviews in a Ford Transit van. Her build, named The Moment, is now complete.
When Debbie conducts her interviews, there are several things that make that happen. First and foremost are her audio and visual components that we hooked up to the bottom of the passenger side. There's also audio inputs and outputs on the outside of the van for interviews being conducted outside. Here in the rear is a sofa and a bed for the interviewees to sit. So for her travels, when she's done with her interviews, she can sleep back here as well. It was important to Debbie to not have any permanently mounted upper cabinetry. This airline track is a versatile way to mount things. On this side, she's got a soft cabinet, basically. You can imagine during her interviews, lights, cameras, anything can be fastened to these airline tracks. Moving forward on the passenger side, she has a large countertop space with fridge, freezer drawer for her food, and then for when she's working, a computer monitor attached to a mount. On the driver's side, sink and different types of storage. Forward of the sink is a fold-down shower. So stows against the wall and lays flat on the floor. You would stand on this and take a shower. We've done this shower a couple times now, most notably in single track, the 144 build for Joe. So Joe, if you're seeing this, nice idea. She will carry a portable toilet with her that she'll stow somewhere around here. I wanted to give you an idea of the space that's in the Transit. There is a little bit less space than the Mercedes Sprinter. The area that the Sprinter has more space especially is if you're trying to get up from your seat and move to the back of the vehicle. It's more spacious in the Sprinter than the Ford, but this is doable. This is a high roof Transit. It's the long wheelbase, and it's the 3.5 liter V6 EcoBoost engine. The EcoBoost engine is a gasoline engine. Debbie wanted a bug screen, so we custom make these bug screens for the Sprinters, but in a video we shot with Ben, he explains why it's harder to do these in the Ford.
The difficulty in installing any screen door in any van is creating that rectangle firmly within the irregular shaped opening of the doorway. So the key difficulty in the Transit is the Transit's opening ends well below the roof line. So our height is basically a foot shorter than what we have in the Mercedes-Benz to open. We can't cut it to fit in this opening. So we had to make the opening extend to the inside of the van. We built our usual soffit that we do in the top of the Mercedes in basically the same position and just ran the door up.
Debbie was fine with this off-the-shelf Nerf bar. We are custom making and designing Nerf bars for the Transits coming up, but this was too shallow. And we built a spacer, an extension, to allow this Nerf bar to come out several more inches. So when you combine that extra space that we've added to this step, along with these grab bars that you can manipulate, it's gonna be easy for Deb and her veteran interviewees to get into this Transit. Another thing about the Transit is that the space underneath the chassis is a little bit more restricted than the Mercedes Sprinter. So in the Sprinter, we have made custom tanks that allow us to fit 40 gallons of fresh water underneath. And again, Debbie was okay with us doing off the shelf, but when we do our custom tanks for the Ford that are bigger, it'll be able to fit into this tighter space. Here on the outside, she's got the capability to do interviews out here too. For all of the audio-visual folks out there, I'm going to pass it over to BMO to explain how this tech works.
My name is BMO, or Brian. I work in the electrical department at Advanced RV. So what we did is incorporated all her lighting and control into the touch panel so she can turn on and off all her lights. Underneath we have a S-bar display for her heater and hot water. And then for her tanks, it's just a simple tank level just to show fresh and gray water. Down here, there's these professional looking jacks for all her video and audio equipment that she's going to be using. Right next to it, a ham radio jack. On the outside, if you look, what we did is cut into the side panel. And you open it up, and then we have a 110 outlet for her equipment. And also, we have the corresponding jacks for her audio and video on the outside. That way she can have her recording equipment inside. And if she wants to do outside, like interviews and such, she can just hook all her camera equipment and audio equipment up right there.
When I ask them, and they'll go, nobody cares. I didn't do anything. Nobody cares. Even if they were a combat veteran, even if they were a medical person, I didn't do enough because there was always somebody else who was doing more. But then 3 or 4 hours later, we're still talking and they're still telling me their stories, and they feel good about being heard and being listened to. Forever now they can be heard because their stories are archived. Behind all these panels is full of signatures from the car dealership where I bought it, my finance guy who helped me make this happen, the tax guy, everybody at the museum, Advanced RV. So just like the World War II aircraft that were coming off the assembly lines that people were signing, inside all these walls, everybody's coming with me to do these interviews. You also signed a panel for me so I can see that. And thank you guys every time I'm doing an interview.
The Advanced RV team thanks Debbie for trusting us with her project. If you are interested in learning more about the MAPS Air Museum or Debbie's work interviewing veterans, we'll put the link to the museum in the description of this video.